So here is the most apropos shot. This is my Brute snowblower made by Murray, and the number there is G2784050 is the model number. And I'm having an issue, and the issue is when I pull down on the auger cable, you can see how the spring stretches right there, but that cable doesn't move. So this piece right here is attached to a cable which goes internally, and that internal cable is frozen. It's corroded. Basically just had the same silly thing happen on my sawmill. So I've got some parts here. I searched forever on the internet and I could not find these parts. So here's the new cable. Looks like it should fit. And so when you actually pull on this, this moves, as it should. But I don't know how easy or difficult it is going to be to put this in. So let's go on the adventure and put this in. On the internet, the information is really sparse on this particular model. I don't know why, but apparently the parts dealer down the street actually had this cable in stock, which was amazing. So I'm going to get some part numbers for you, for those people that have this snowblower and need this particular part. So there's the cable, and then a couple of belts here. Couldn't figure out what belts it needed, but apparently the dealer had this. I think that's the drive belt, and then this is the auger belt, or vice versa. 1733324SM. Sam and then Matthew. So 1733324SM is the number here. I don't know if I'm gonna do the belts or just do the cable, but maybe I do both here, and that way we've got a video that's pretty complete. Anyway, yeah, obviously the issue is that's frozen in there, and I unstuck it last night with a can of WD-40, and there's a lot of corrosion in that line. So I did get it working last night, and it does work if you work it back and forth, but that's a lot of doing. So, and it's really cold out. So let's do this proper. Let's put some new parts in and see how she goes. Don't forget, for every snowblower job, pull the spark plug. That way you don't have a problem when you're servicing it. Right, good, okay. So I've tilted the snowblower up. Missing a couple of bolts here. Need to go down to the Home Depot anyway. So there's a couple of bolts on the side and two here. The ones on the side just need to get loosened. That comes off. This is a rubber grommet, I think. It feels a whole lot like plastic to me. On the new part, it's rubber. Comes up. Not worried about buggering this because, well, I'm replacing it. I think this spring needs to come off, which means I need to bend this out. Don't even have to bend it much. With one of those pliers, it gets it. See, I can't even pull on that and get it to move. And it's not because the other end is stuck, and we'll look at the other end in a minute. 13mm works, although that does not feel ideal. Just unscrewing this. Down the cable, work it. Let's see. Ah, there, it moved a little bit. Good, that'll probably be enough for me to just move this grommet up a little bit further. Okay. Stick the screwdriver through and heave. There we go. Okay. Undo this fully. That comes down far enough now that that comes out. And now this should go down. Yes. Okay. It goes down in that way. So this will be the easy side to put in. The other side is a little more tricky. Just a clip here that this pops out of. In order to get to the belts, there's one screw down here, one bolt actually, and you don't have to remove it all the way, just partially. Same exact thing on the other side, don't need to show it, just remove it partially, and then don't have ice in the way, comes off. The way that you know that the mechanism here is not at fault is this whole mechanism here moves back and forth freely and the cable itself is not moving. Obviously, the cable here is at fault. So right by my thumb here you can see there's two tabs. You push them together and the whole thing just clicks in. So where that is on the unit, so right here is that part. But there is the Z connection, I think that's what this is called here. There's this Z connection thing that is going to be, I believe, the trickiness. So the next thing to do is to release this cable, those two clips, push them in with some pointy nose pliers and pull. Okay. So you need a clamp, something to hold that slack. My neighbor calls these clamps my friends, because they are my friends. So now I've got enough slack that I should be able to just click the tabs here. And with a screwdriver, help pry it out through. Yeah, good. Now that's released. So now that part is released, and now we want to go, you want to actually push it that way, sideways. Like that. Ha! Now the whole cable should come up and come slack. Let's see. So now the whole cable comes out this way. And then I'm actually going to release this back there. Well, I just messed that shot up, sorry. This spring here, I just released in hopes that this will move out of the way far enough for me to make sure you figure out where that spring came from and went and all that fun stuff. So you can see there, the Z crosses from here to over there, like that. But I think, and the cable is on this side. I don't think that's right. I think the cable should be on this side. And looking at the alignment of how the cable actually enters, I think my hunch is correct. This appears like it was assembled wrong, making it basically impossible to do anything with. That's awesome. That gives me good feelings. So, in order to prove my hunch is right, I may have to just cut this. So I managed to work it out. So it came out. So it came out the other way. So now this is free this direction, and now I'm actually free to cut it. This red piece here, which the pulley is attached to, I don't think the cable should come from that side of this red piece. I think it should come from this side, and it'll make it far easier to do this job. So I'm just going to cut this. Man, I really hope I got the right cable. So after looking at it, yep, same part. Good. That's called luck. Don't usually get very much of it. Okay. Now, I like I said, I really think the cable, the Z connector, goes on from this side, not in from that side. So I think it should go in like that. I need about 13 hands to do this job, though. Okay, so that goes in like that. That has enough space to hit the brake. Pull that back. And you barely have enough to get the cable around here. Actually, before we do that, we might as well change out the belt, because it's got some wear on it, and I don't think it's ever been changed. I happen to have a new one. So let's see. Take those guards off. Would that make it easier? These guards off. Let's see. Maybe we can do that. 13 millimeter. Yep. Just needs to be moved a little bit out of the way. So you can get this belt off, and it comes out the middle and the bottom. Surprisingly easy, and it's got enough of a check mark there that we could have a problem, so we don't want to have a problem. The new belt does look good, okay, but before, since that was what's it, the first in, first out, last in, first out, first out, last in, that's a better way to put it. Okay, what do we got here? Tensioner. Well, it looks like we should be able to slip that right over to that. So let's pull this tensioner back, just by hand, move this belt around, and should we just slide it there, and then down and off the main pulley, and up this way. Good. This one has a check too, so that one's done. Gonna do the little one first here. Looks like we put this around the pulley. Annoyingly pre-bent. So we put on the big pulley first. No, we put it around a little diameter here, then around the pulley. And you may have to go under to do that. So you just work it around. Next is the next belt, down and around the big pulley, I think. So there's that, that's on the big pulley. Now we just need to get it over the engine pulley. These are said and done. Actually, I wonder. Double, triple check you got the spark plug off, but oh, I wonder. Would it help? Yeah. Look at that. Pull the starter cord. Just a little bit. Goes right on. Now we can move these back into place. And those are really not there to rub on the belt specifically, just to make sure the belt doesn't fall off accidentally. Okay, there's one. Back up considerably. There. That's good. 5. Good. That's tight. If you loosen this up, you can move the pulley down that way, and then it's going to be out of your way a little bit for slack to put the cable in. I hope. Okay, now we have it focused. So that cable has to enter from the pulley side, and now hopefully, well, let's drop this down here first. Before I click it in firm. Okay, so we're dropped. Now all I gotta do is click this in. Click. There we go. Gonna tension back up this pulley here. I don't need quite all the way. Pulley runs fine. We need to put the spring back. It grabs kind of low here. There we go. All right. Now we have to clamp this, not so it's tight. There. And now we can, once this is tight, it's actually slackened up the steel line, and then we can lift this whole thing up. Just a little bit of slack on there, didn't much. This goes back up here, and you've undone the nut so you can see the line. It just slides right up and in there. And then take your little metal piece, there, turn that around just like that. Turn this around, it'll slide right out. Push it back in, it slides right in. Turn her around, wrap around down here. Grommet on. And we just need to actually maybe put that on first. Here we go. That's on. Alright, now we have to adjust the whole thing. So I'm going to release my clamp back here. Seems like that pulls and tensions just fine. Tighten this down here. That goes in the clip. Make sure the grommet's on fully here. It's amazing how really little travel is in that cable. Okay. This adjustment looks like it's fine here, so I'm going to close this back up. There's a bolt here. Should be a bolt here, but I don't have one. Bolt down here and a tensioner, tightener bolt down there as well, but missing that one too. Great, so missing a couple. Oh well. Let's bring her down. So as you can see, this moves and it engages every time, and it releases every time. I'm sure there's specs in the owner's manual on how to tension this specifically. Unfortunately, I do not have those specs at present time, so I cannot help you. But if anybody happens to have that type of information, please let me know. I would appreciate it. Last thing to do is put the spark plug back. And put the cover back on. Hope she starts and runs and throws snow. If I have any more trouble, obviously I'll let you know. I'll simply say thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. That's that. Back in business.